This video has been long overdue. It's one subject that has been on my mind for several months now, but I wanted to see where this market was heading, and I somewhat predicted this would happen. It's a shame because I feel like newcomers to the scene are just getting overwhelmed with choice. What made me finally put my head down to create this video was the Anbernic Win 600. I've been testing it for a few weeks now, and I don't want this video to be about the Win 600, I want this to be about the industry as a whole, but this device here just hasn't impressed me, and it sits in an awkward place on the market. It's the same price as a Steam Deck, but can barely run AAA games efficiently. Heck, even Rocket League on low settings struggles. And if you wanted this to properly run retro games, it's an incredibly awkward process due to the lack of a SD card slot and the long process of installing SteamOS, Batacera, or Windows emulators through downloads or USB sticks. It made me realise that this market is oversaturated with a lot of terrible handhelds, and I think it's only going to get worse over the next few years. Don't get me wrong though, I love handhelds, and there's some great devices coming out this year and beyond. My previous video goes over just a few of them, but I do want to share with you a few reasons why I think you need to keep your wits about you when choosing your next handheld. Many of you may comment, just get a Steam Deck. I have one. It's great, and it's the handheld I go to most. It's close to flawless, but it doesn't mean I can't want other devices. I also believe there will be better devices than the Steam Deck coming this year. So let's take a look at a few reasons why the handheld industry has a problem right now. Firstly, and it's one of the biggest disadvantages to an oversaturated, over-competitive market, and that's the buying process. Nowadays, these companies want your money as fast as possible, and they do this by asking you to pre-order and pay for your device before it's even in production. Most of the time, yeah, this is fine, but over the last 12 months, I have seen many customers still waiting for their devices that they have paid for over a year ago. This is because the production process is getting longer and longer, and frequent problems occur which push that back. And obviously, the economy is still recovering from shipping delays and material delays too. But this shouldn't be normal. 12-month ordering times is ludicrous. Heck, anything over a couple of months should be frowned upon, but this is becoming the norm, and I personally think holding on to customers' money for almost a year is something that should be spoken about. And secondly, this leads me into why holding money isn't good, because the market is just so fast these days. There's typically a newer, more powerful handheld that has been launched within that time, leaving you with a product that you likely already want to upgrade or think is outdated. For example, Aeon and Aeon Neo, which are big names in the industry, are now releasing multiple handhelds with just a couple of months between the iterations, all while teasing others on the horizon that you can sign up to wait for and wait for the pre-orders to open. But buddy, you still haven't shipped my handheld that I ordered 9 months ago. Stop focusing on new products and focus on your customers that have already paid you up front. I also don't think this is good for their business, as surely I'm not the only one to cancel a pre-order to then order something different from them and newer from them, or even from someone else. I guess this just comes down to corporate greed. Yes, you can obviously ask for your order to be cancelled and get a refund, but that in itself is a ball ache and brings me on to another issue. You have to wait for their support to read your email, get back to you, and then they probably ask for your order number, and eventually they supply a refund weeks down the line. That's if someone responds. My history with trying to get support on all devices I review is 0 to none. As soon as there's a problem outside of their poorly written blog posts, it's like everyone in their team is trying to dodge you, making it near impossible to get any kind of assistance. I'm not saying all companies do this, but it's still a problem in this industry, and it forces customers to ask friends, ask social media, and even ask handheld influencers for assistance, making the lives of these companies easier. It's like, how do I explain it? It's like the community is actually supporting each other so damn well that these companies don't have to ever actually assist with problems or invest money into a customer service team. they seem to just ignore the problem until it goes away. So if you are looking to buy a retro handheld or an upcoming Windows PC, I think you need to take into consideration that customer support and the refund process won't be what you're used to. You'll likely end up having to sift through forums or wait for a reply from your favorite content creator to get some kind of help. Next, I could go on to discuss the pricing issues, but due to the mass amounts of competition on the market, I actually think it's doing good things for us as customers. There's some great deals out there like the Steam Deck, but also in the smaller retro handheld market too, especially handhelds that are over a year old, have huge reductions because they are basically wanting to sell their backlog of stock. More competition means more pressure on companies to lower their prices. There are some disadvantages though, as traditional handheld PCs on the market have very little room for expanding the hardware, making many believe that these very expensive handhelds could be outdated within just a couple of years, especially when the gaming industry is moving faster and faster as the years go by in terms of graphics output. Unlike a normal PC, you can upgrade the equipment as time goes by, but as of now, this is something portable handheld PCs cannot really do. So do keep that in mind when you're spending over $1,000 on one of these things. Hopefully though, future handhelds will come with some kind of upgradable RAM or a way to do it yourself. And finally, one point that I have kept in the closet for some time now, which I shouldn't really be talking about, but screw it, is the fact that some companies out there are actually blacklisting content creators when it comes to getting review samples. I know for a fact Ambernick does this because I am one of them, and it just goes to show that some companies out there are putting review samples into the hands of those that only speak highly of them in hopes that these early videos and these early access content can get them a bit more of that pre-order money before the product's actually made, and in return the creator usually gets an incentive like slice of commission in early access. I get it as a business, you don't really want bad reviews of your products, but purposely keeping products away from reviewers that are honest and allowing others early access is in some way market manipulation. So I always recommend waiting for reviews from your trusted sources, or even better, waiting for the public to get their hands on it so you can see real reviews from many real customers. It's hard, I know, because at this moment in time, the handheld market is so good at causing the FOMO effect, and many customers are already waiting to chuck money at them and are willing to wait almost a year to receive the products. But this is a part of the problem. These companies have made hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars before anyone has really seen proper, honest reviews of the products. I may be overthinking this issue, but I have seen the industry evolve aggressively over the last few years since reviewing handhelds on this channel. And I just wanted to make sure, and I wanted to make this video to warn you that we're in a time where not every handheld is great. There's a little bit of market manipulation, and just don't worry about the fear of missing out. Most of the time, waiting a few months is actually the best decision that you can do. So I just had to get that off my chest. If you have any questions about this industry, drop them below. I'm happy to help. I think this market is going to get even worse and even more competitive. You just need to keep your wits about you and spend your money on products as wisely as you can.